Hi everyone, Anthony Fantano here, the internet's busiest music nerd, and it's time for another edition of Let's Argue, where I go on the internet, I take your hot takes, your unpopular opinions, your tough questions, respond to the best ones. That's what we do here. That's what the Let's Argue is all about. Let's go. Mainstream hip-hop audiences can't love and focus on more than one white rapper at a time. First it was Eminem, then Pitbull. Pitbull is not fucking white. Pitbull isn't fucking white. Pitbull's not white. And at what time culturally were we like, oh, Eminem, the greatest selling white rapper of all time, not paying any more attention to him. Now it's all about Pitbull. Then Macklemore. We went from Pitbull to Macklemore. Yeah, there weren't any white rappers between Pitbull and Macklemore that gained any notoriety or attention. Mac Miller came before Post Malone. So what are you talking about, Post Malone and then Mac Miller? Mac Miller was a thing before Post Malone was a thing. And then Lil Dicky, and now Jack Harlow. And you forgot about Lil Peep. What are you talking about? Some of these artists were very much focused on at the same time. There's nothing worse than having a lil swamp ass. Important question, important topic, it's a hot take. I'm gonna play devil's advocate here and say, you know what, if you've got a little bit of swamp ass going, it's probably because you got some thickness. God's probably blessed you with some cake. Just take the silver lining in this cloud, my guy. Lou Reed's The Blue Mask is a great album, but let's be honest, the cover art is lazy. It's just a picture from Transformer and it's cropped from the neck up in blue. Both albums great, by the way. I mean, the Blue Mask is great, but it's also like, I think it's like just supposed to be, it's a reflective album for Lou. I mean, maybe there was a better way to sort of bring that point home than just going for the Transformer cover. But I mean, that's kind of the point that Lou was at in his career. He's reflected a little bit. He's being reflective. The fretless bass on that Blue album is fantastic. Question: if I want to go to a concert and my parents won't let me, how would you manage the situation? Is there a solution? Back when you were a teenager, if you had similar experiences to concerts at Black Midi and Beach, good question. I certainly had my own experiences with that as a kid. Although the kinds of shows that I was going to were way wilder and fucking weirder than a Black Midi and a Beach House show. I don't know what your parents think is gonna fucking go down at the Beach House show. Everybody's just gonna be folding their arms and just quietly vibing. I would answer your question with a question, or a question for your parents. I would ask them, what are your concerns? What are you afraid will happen if I go to the concert? What are you worried about? And what can I do to alleviate those concerns? Is it going with a friend group that you trust? Is it being back home at a certain time? Is it checking in with you periodically over the course of the concert? That's the approach that I would take. Italy is a punchline for Americans. One time an Italian Twitter user tried to make a thread explaining why the mafia was a serious problem in Italy, quoting some of the darkest moments in history, and Americans flooded the replies with, "I cooked a pizza." Yeah, that's Americans for you. Please, Americans, respect my fucking Italian X culture. Be nicer to Italy, be nicer about Italy. Most of your favorite food is fucking Italian food. Fucking show respect. Show fucking respect. You said Dan Deacon's Bromst gave you ear fatigue, yet you enjoy 100 Gex, who I also like, to be clear. What gives? Well, 100 Gex songs don't undergo 8-minute long minimalist fucking, progressions that have all of these buzzing sounds eating away at my eardrums constantly. When a freaking banger from Wonder Gex is on, that usually lasts maybe a few minutes tops. I think you're seriously underestimating that the length of time that something lasts, especially if that is a very repetitive thing, can create ear fatigue. I don't know why you don't seem to factor that. There are so many vast stylistic and creative differences between Dan Deacon and 100 Gex. It actually kind of concerns me that you would make the comparison that you did here in such a reductive way, as if they both make very loud, colorful music, and that alone is enough to be like, oh yeah, These are the same. Good try, though. Good try on this. What does your to-do list look like in an average week? That's a good question, because honestly, with my difficulties that I have with executive function, if I don't put things down on a physical to-do list, I will often forget them and have a difficult time getting any of them done. I actually have a little to-do list over here where I've written down emails, gym, something to do with Austin, the weekly track roundup, which I have not crossed out yet, order groceries, which I did. I gotta make some TikToks and stuff like that. So, I mean, you know, I usually do a daily list. It's gotta be a daily one. Do a review, Fantano video, call this person, don't forget this appointment. That's usually what my lists look like. I personally find it sad rappers of this generation don't really do posse cuts. Obviously, technology made remote collabs easy, but I think rappers are scared of being washed by their features on social media. Maybe, possibly. I mean, the 2010s weren't exactly like a high point for posse cuts from start to end, but, you know, we did get some like really good collective cuts over the course of the decade. That seemed to be more of a thing toward the start of the decade, died out toward the end of the decade, or just like was not as much a thing. They are fun, they are creative, they are cool. It is amazing to see artists kind of bouncing energy off of each other. In a way, that one 2016 XXL Cypher with like 21 Savage and freaking Denzel Curry, that's almost like a posse cut in its own way. That's a beloved posse cut. You know, even though it is just like a XXL Cypher, it's kind of a cool posse cut. The streaming industry has made longer tracks less profitable. You know what I mean? Like, it's in the artist's best interest these days because of streaming to, you know, make a track that is like sort of like short and as bite-sized as possible so it gets played a million fucking times. What do you feel is the ultimate purpose of reviewing art? Is it to express yourself through detailing your taste, to influence other people's digestion of music, to help document the solidification of the greatest albums of all time, landmarks, classics, or otherwise? I think it could be a little bit of all of the above. I think like kind of marking and taking note of really standout records and projects and art that you think is like really great that you want to highlight, I think is one key thing. I think curation is a reason as well, helping people kind of, you know, work their way through the very saturated and busy world of music that can be very, you know, difficult to wade through. I think also an important part of it is not necessarily to tell people what to think, but to give people pause and make people actually think about why it is they like or why it is they dislike the things that they like and dislike. At least for me personally, those are kind of the key, you know, reasons for doing reviews, doing criticism, whatever. Yeat, the future of trap, due to his ability to mix all his trap influences perfectly and put his own twist on it. I'm telling you. I mean, I think Yeat is fine. I pick Yeat out of a lineup, and that Rich Minions track is pretty fun. But, you know, by the same token, like, he's far from wholly original. You know, and a lot of the stuff that he's borrowing from is just like contemporary shit. I think overall he does blend into the overall landscape just a bit too much, but Yeat is still proving to be like one of the strongest forces in trap and in this whole rage wave overall. And I think he does have potential to sort of like continue to grow, change up, sort of do something even bolder or more standout or more genre defining. So sit back and wait, I guess. Doolittle is not good. By what metric? I actually have a problem with Gunna fans acting as if Young Boy is the GOAT and not Dirk. What does Young Thug have to say about that? IMO Schoolboy Q is GOAT, but 42 Doug is close. I hate Diddy, I hate Jay-Z. I kind of feel like that's cap. That's not bussin'. Girls are scary and they make me feel weird. Calm down. Just calm down. Girls are people just like any other people. And if you talk to them like they're a people, usually they respond just like a people. But sometimes, like a people, girls will not respond because if you look at other people who are not girls, think about that, not every people who's not girl will respond to you when you try to talk to girl. Not every people who's not girl will respond to you if you talk to that people. So just think of all people across people and just talk to people. Some people will say hi back. Some people will want to be your friend. Some people will want to be more your friend. And some people will hate you and want to have nothing to do with you. And all of that is fine. People are allowed to have different feelings on you as a people. And some of the people who I just mentioned, of all the people, will be girls. And, you know, just like talk to them like any other people. And you know, you should be all right. Tory Lanez old music was amazing. You just don't want to admit that because blah, blah. No, Tory Lanez old music was derivative too. A lot of lame songs on here. It's unimaginative, and Tory is just so similar in so many ways to his contemporaries, I just fail to see the point of this album's existence. Tory Lanez old music, he was just trying to sound like Drake on a lot of those tracks. He's never had an original standout sound that you could recognize out of a lineup. It's never been the case. Rap with no chorus is better than rap with chorus a lot of times. Not all. It's just repeating an empty phrase that just fills the time in between verses, and it isn't catchy. Well, when chorus is catchy, then it is good chorus. Obviously, rap with bad chorus is not as good as rap maybe with no chorus, but rap with good chorus, or most music with good chorus, because all music can have bad chorus, and obviously chorus does repeat. That's kind of point of chorus. That's just the chorus doing chorus things. But I think it's kind of silly to sort of just like strictly limit this kind of point that you're making here to rap, because I mean, as far as song structure goes, like rap is not, you know, built out in a way that is like significantly different from other genres of popular music. You're just not making an effective point here, and I don't enjoy it. I don't like it. All right, that has been this Let's Argue, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for watching. Thanks for chilling. Thanks for being great. Thanks for being cool. See yourself on the way out. Get a drink. Go to the bathroom. Make sure to wash your hands. Thank you very much. Appreciate you watching. Love you. Over here next to my head is another video you can check out. Hit that up with a link to subscribe to the channel. Anthony Fantana. Let's argue forever. Bam.